The Nets lose Lamarcus Aldridge, the Celtics keep rising in the East, and the Lakers falling in the West. Let's get into it.
Yeah. This is real life, little home, that's why I stayed down. I done came up off that boy, look what I made now. Like Nike, I just do it.
All right, so this is thebusyfan.com here. If we go here, take a look. I'm still putting it together. These links are pretty blank if you click on it here, but the main page, it has a few formatting errors, but for the most part, it's here. And it's a great place for you to get caught up on what's going on in the sporting world. So I'm going to use it today to show exactly what's been happening. So if I move my little face over here, cover up that icon instead of the scores, we'll see right here we have the main sports that are happening right now. So baseball, we got all your baseball scores here. Take a look. The more important ones are Padres beating the Pirates 8-3. The Padres are our top team in baseball, but the top team in baseball right now is the Dodgers, who beat the Rockies yesterday. You can come in here, you can click on the links, and it'll take you to give you some more information. But if you just want a quick rundown because you're a busy fan, this is a great place to come to get scores of what's been happening right now. So here's all your baseball scores for you. Take a look at your favorite team. And let's move down to the NBA. The NBA is the other big sport going on right now. Obviously, the most important thing that happened was the Celtics-Lakers game yesterday. The Lakers keep dropping. They haven't had LeBron and Anthony Davis, so it doesn't mean much for, how good the team is, but it will mean a lot for the playoffs. Like, you want that path to be as easy as possible. And they're now the fifth team in the West. The Celtics have moved up to the fifth team in the East. Jaylen Brown dropped 40 in this game. So is it time to be concerned for the Lakers? I don't think it's time to be concerned, but I think it's time to start taking it seriously. Like, up to this point, it's kind of been like, okay, everybody rest, get healthy and everything. I don't think people have been faking injuries or anything like that, but it's just been like, we're going to make the playoffs anyway. So relax, get yourself healthy, because that's the most important thing, which is true. But you want that path to be as easy as possible. They need to start playing better, getting things together. And Anthony Davis just got cleared for full practices. So I think this is the beginning of that. So again, Jaylen Brown had 40 points in this game. Huge game for him. The Celtics are looking like they're peaking at the right time. And Lakers are definitely in the valley at the wrong time, but not necessarily because of their play. It's because of their lack of players right now. So as we continue on, the Suns keep moving up in the West. Warriors win, and Bucks beat the Hawks. No other big surprises there. But thebusyfan.com, for you busy fans, is not just a place where you can go and find the scores. It's also a place where you can stay up to date on what has been happening in all of the leagues. The way you do that is I don't know everything. I don't know much, actually. I'm not an insider. So I go and I go to my Twitter, and most of my tweets are just retweets of the news. So that way you can come here, see scores right next to exactly what's been going on. So right here, Field Yates announced that the NCAA has officially passed its new transfer rule. Student athletes can now transfer once without any restrictions, and they'll be immediately eligible to play. Now, I know you're thinking, you're like, hasn't this been a rule for a while? Like, didn't they already make that change? And the answer is, in some sports, they have. But this is not a NCAA football rule. This is an NCAA rule where they now make it so it's like the NCAA has always made it legal for you to be a grad transfer. So if you graduate school, then you can transfer to another school and not have to wait or anything. And then you can either have 1 or maybe 2 years of eligibility at your next school. But now they've made it so that's possible for anybody at any time. Like I mentioned at the beginning, Lamarcus Aldridge has retired. That's a big blow for the Nets. I know he just barely got kind of beat up by Andre Drummond when they played the Lakers, but he has done some really good things for them, and it's really unfortunate because he retired because in his game on Saturday, I believe, he had a heart murmur, so the doctors told him that it was time for him to retire. So scary, but I think, he's played long enough and everything that hopefully this is like a good point for him to retire and be happy. And so wish him the best going forward. But that is huge news in the NBA losing Lamarcus Aldridge. Um, I know Nets fans must be bummed, but what are you going to do? I mean, the guy needs to take care of his health. Then moving on, this is from a couple days ago, but I wasn't able to get a video up yesterday, so I'm just going to cover it real fast here. Jadeveon Clowney signs with the Browns. I'm a Browns fan, so let's go Browns. Their offense is ready. They have studs everywhere on offense. Baker Mayfield, whether you like him or not, he is good enough to get the weapons around him to excel, and their offense has not been the issue. The issue has been on defense. This year they've gone out and got safeties, linebackers. They've made the defense more solid. Jadeveon Clowney is just another piece there to put across from Myles Garrett and make the team that much closer to being where they need to be. And then finally, the last thing I want to cover was this quote. Everyone's talking about Trevor Lawrence saying that he doesn't really have a chip on his shoulder. His coach, his old high school coach, and his dad came out and they were like, yeah, he could probably leave the game and be fine. There would be no issue there. And a lot of people are everyone had the right reaction. Everyone's like, oh, good. Like, it's 2021. We don't expect people to just like devote their whole lives to football and live or die from it. Like, we want a good work-life balance. I think through COVID, we've all kind of realized we want that for ourselves and we want that for other people as well. But Warren Sharp brings out an interesting piece here. He said, "Wonder how things would look if these quotes came from Justin Fields in his camp." That is a very, very good point. If Justin Fields would have said this, his draft stock would have just plummeted super fast because, oh, he's not bought in. Like, we want somebody who eats, sleeps, and breathes football, and it's just not realistic. So I think it's cool that that Trevor Lawrence said this, so people could kind of be like, "Oh yeah, no, that's good." And hopefully in the future, when players come out and say this, it won't tank their stock because people will be like, "Well, remember when Trevor Lawrence said this?" And you were like, "Oh, that's fine, that's a good thing." But anyway, that's your news. That's what people are talking about. Thanks for being a busy fan, and thanks for watching. Go check out thebusyfan.com so you can stay up to date on scores, news, and everything you need to know.